62.
Okay, 62. So that would mean you've seen it prior to 62.
I ain't see it.
So then how would you know that?
Because I read it.
Because that means it's true?
Yes.
No, not
Yes.
necessarily.
Because it's in the library right on Stone Avenue.
On Mother Gaston.
Yes.
The Brooklyn.
That library
That's on Mother Gaston.
And there's pictures.
Okay.
Go to the library.
Is the library still there?
Yeah.
It's still there?
What's that?
That library still there.
On the corner.
That's right there, right? Between Wake and Dumont.
That's why the Castle Hall called Brooklyn the Country, because we still had streets that wasn't
He
paid.
talking some shit.
It wasn't paid yet.
He talking about some 50s and 60s.
We was in the trenches.
Nigga,
They was in the hood,
I wasn't-
but we was in the trenches.
He got some real
Listen,
information.
I'm not going to say you wrong. I'm just going to say I don't believe you.
Guess what?
That's your problem.
You'll see a picture of it.
He telling.
Even with it being unpaid, I cannot believe somebody called Brooklyn the country.
That's what the
Not this
Castle
borough.
Hall.
So listen.
The Castle Hall called Brooklyn the Country.
But
Like
before-
every hood
this
had
is what I
its own
heard.
The
nickname.
same people that were scared to come to Brooklyn.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But we talking 70s. He talking 50s, man. 50s and 60s. So and the reason why I think that, because I heard Brownsville was all Jews killing. It was so many murders in Brownsville.
Murder Inc. was
In the
started.
40s and
Murder
the
Inc.
fucking
was started in
30s.
East New York.
So I can understand that when they came out of that era, they could have been bullshit. But then
Every borough you want to talk about, they was all there first.
But Murder Inc. was started in East New
So
York.
it don't matter who was living there. Don't matter who was living there.
What Murder Inc. you talking
It was
about?
that
Irv Gotti and
wipe
Travis?
everybody out.
You hear me?
Not Irv Gotti.
Everybody.
Rest in peace.
Right,
I
I was
know.
gonna say that.
Yeah, I know.
Brownsville, East New York, we made them all
And
leave.
it was formed in East New York.
Right? It was Irish people living in East Brownsville and East. In the 50s, yeah, 50s, 40s, yeah, before when we started getting our rights and we started coming regulate, then all that shit changed.
Yeah, I just said that. It's getting a little cloudy. A little cloudy.
Once that vent come on, though, it's gonna start getting cold.
Fine with me. Fine with me.
I hear you. That's why I still
You
got
got
my,
anemic, right?
Over
I
here.
got my
No.
coat over there.
Not
That's
at
why I
all.
still got my coat.
Not at
Start
all.
getting cold.
Chilling
I'm
at the
gonna throw
Cigar
that coat on.
Lounge. Smoking a little cigar. Getting some conversation, some knowledge. What's up, everybody who's on the check-in? Appreciate y'all. But we just chilling, y'all, at BlewSmoke,
Yeah,
having a little cigar, getting some knowledge,
Vinegar Hill, where the
Talking to the
project is now
folks.
Sand Street.
That's where the money.
learning about the boroughs, the city. Just learned a lot tonight.
Yeah. They call it Dumbo now. It's Vinegar Hill.
It's always great to talk to your elders.
in neighborhood now too. Word up. Right?
Everything back over there.
And you know where the black people money lived, like back in the days? Bushwick.
Of course.
That's where Lena Horne was born. In Bushwick.
Bishop was the black people Manhattan because it was close to the city. And that's where Bushwick, all the black people started putting.
There's the black people with money too.
I always go with Spanish.
Nope, then the Spanish started coming in.
Right.
When the black people started moving out,
Right.
then it was super Spanish.
Because we had
Now-
Weeksville,
Now it's, you know,
and then from Weeksville we branched
they
over
changing
into
it up
Bushwick.
Weeksville is still there too. They still,
there?
yeah, it's still there. They have a nice little establishment there, yeah.
It looks different.
But it still has, you know, when you go outside, they still have the.
In the whole Northeast,
Say that again.
Brooklyn had the most highest number of enslaved people in the Northeast in the 1800s, 1700s, 1800s.
There's grave sites in East New York, right across the street from the library on New Lots.
Canarsie got great sites.
Canarsie,
got
yeah.
That would be
historical great
the
sites.
five original
You see, we
towns.
did our research at Highland, you
Highland.
know,
Brooklyn,
yeah.
Williamsburg,
That took me back about how
The Highland, right?
Stuyvesant, Flatbush,
we went up
Dyker
there and
Heights,
it was amazing.
Yeah.
and Grayson.
Yeah.
That's where the
learn some
slaves
history
were.
up here.
So when they started, you know, making
1828 is when New York State abolished slavery. New York State abolished.
my question to you is, was Brooklyn, was that
Oh, y'all got a pen and pad?
part
You
of
gotta
a
take
march?
some notes. These niggas here.
Their phone got notes.
When they started, you know, making
Or just press the recorder.
solid land, was the march still out there, go out to like, going out to, extension?
Brooklyn was one town.
Hey, Artichoke.
That was the town of Brooklyn, the city of
Definitely New York,
was
all
one.
day. Brooklyn, all day,
And it started to
baby.
absorb the other original 5 towns.
I'm just sitting here, you know,
But Brooklyn started
soaking
as
up
one
some
town in
knowledge.
the county of Kings.
Kings, yeah.
So it was Kings County, but there was more than one city in Kings County. And those cities was Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Stuyvesant, New Utrecht, Flatbush, Dyker, and New Utrecht, Gravesend. New Utrecht and Gravesend. And those were the original towns. And Brooklyn started to absorb them. Williamsburg was only
Hey, Curtis.
was its only city for maybe a year, and Brooklyn absorbed it. And then Brooklyn eventually absorbed Flatbush.
Hey, y'all.
You New Utrecht,
It's over here,
Gravesend,
BlewSmoke.
Dyker Heights.
Gravesend was
And then New York City absorbed Brooklyn
Brooklyns
in
Own.
1898.
I was having a nice little cigar.
1898.
Okay.
I
But
put it out
Brooklyn
for a
was its own
minute.
city.
But yeah, I'm just chilling. Wednesday night, just wanted to come out, have a little minute.
Which is why it's different.
Always
than the other
nice to
boroughs.
sit around and talk to people and learn things that, you know,
Yep.
you won't necessarily would know, you know?
Farmland. Now, the part of Brooklyn that was farmland.
I've been in
was
Brooklyn,
Bernard
New
City,
York all my life, and I'm learning a lot. Although there's things that I already knew, but I'm learning more things that I didn't know.
That was later developed.
That was later developed, but that was all farmland.
Artichoke, yeah, I do like Mary J.
I'm saying,
Blige.
kind of march, and then,
I'm a fan more of her early work,
okay.
more so the what's the 411 album, the My Life album. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of
Brooklyn
Mary.
Historical Society. You go to Brooklyn Historical Society, and you go to the archives, and you will see documented. Like I said, Brooklyn had more enslaved Africans than all of the Northeast. Right here in this borough. That's why we have stops here, Underground Railroad. We had stops of the Underground Railroad in Brooklyn. Down on Henry Street, down on Montague Street.
Ain't slaves buried in like Red Pussy Bridge?
No, our enslaved people was actually buried on Flatbush and Church. And so when they tried to build it, we stopped it. And now, if you look go on the corner of Flatbush and Church, you see just a
You
lot
just wanted
there.
you just wanted
Wouldn't let
to
them
hear me
build.
say her
Where
name.
the church is?
Mary J. What you say,
Remember
what you
the
say.
kid over there? Yeah, right on the corner, Flatbush and Church.
Flatbush
So
and
my
Church.
accent is that serious?
Church
That's what you're saying?
Was an enslaved African burial. And
saying I
when
have a
the
strong
developers tried to build
accent?
it, we stopped it. So you
Can't help
build
it, I'm a
on
Brooklyn
bones of our
girl.
ancestors.
New York City.
And so if you go on a church in Flatbush, I mean, Bedford,
I know that
if you go to the corner
I
church
on that corner.
of Church Avenue, Bedford
You said
Avenue,
Kyle from
you'll
Living
see a
Single.
lot. You'll see a lot.
That's funny.
Church in Bedford.
Church in
There's
Bedford.
a lot of knowledge going on here. Things that I didn't even know. It's very interesting to learn.
Gas
You know?
station. That's right.
Gas station,
And then you got the Jewish school.
the Jewish school, the Erasmus is right over
And there's an
there.
empty lot on the corner across the street from the post office. There's an empty lot.
That's where
That's
the
our
Jewish school
burial
is.
land
That's where the Jewish school is.
We have another burial land in East New York.
on that corner, across the street from the post office.
They're giving a lot of history about Brooklyn. Yeah. A lot of history about Brooklyn.
First we stopped
East
the
New York,
one
Brownsville,
down with,
Flatbush.
Federal Plaza.
Bed-Stuy.
That was the African burial ground, Federal Plaza, Lower Manhattan. We stopped that.
Right next to,
I stood out there from midnight, because we took shifts. And I stood out there, my shift was from midnight to 8 in the morning. We
Wow.
stood out there with paper cup with a candle in it. A Dixie cup with a candle in it. And we stood out there all night long to stop them from building it.
I remember that.
Then we stopped them from building on Church and Bedford. Never was that place.
When they try to build on Flatbush and Berkeley.
I don't
Yeah,
recall.
development.
I don't recall. The bones of our ancestors there, we stopped.
All right.
I don't recall what they were trying to do. But they did build, but they left the footprint. Like,
You're right. There is an open lot right there. That's where right now they got
So what y'all up to? What y'all doing? Artichoke, where you from?
food or something like that. Right.
Since
He
you
can do
amused
that.
with my
No,
with
no,
my
he can do that.
accent, where
I'm
you
just saying,
from?
I recognize what you're talking about.
you
Yeah.
can do that.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
ToniSteelz, wow.
Yeah.
Tries to erase it permanently. Absolutely. That's very interesting. We were talking about that earlier. It's like, you know, we definitely have to each one teach one, right?
Yeah.
Are you from the Chi? Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chi-Town, Chicago. Ow. That's
We're
what's up.
included in this conversation.
But yeah, it's very important for us to know our
Yeah, we were
history.
enslaved. We had
You know, the diaspora is
from the 1600s up until
Far and wide.
1828.
we have history from New York to Cali to all over the world,
Then when
you
we
know.
was-
We are
after
very,
enslavement,
very,
we
prom-
formed
very
the city of
prominent
Weeksville.
people.
Where?
Weeksville.
It's very important that
Ralph
we
Avenue.
continue to carry the legacy and learn as much as we can about who we are, where we're
We
from,
built schools,
what we're about.
churches, businesses, homes. They had a thriving community.
I mean, I would say black people always had a tribal community until they tried to integrate, or until when they wanted to integrate, feeling that was something better.
Central Park is a whole black neighborhood underwater.
Yeah, that was known as Sheets.
No.
No.
Another name. You said I know it.
I didn't hear what you said.
No, Central Park
Central
was
Park.
a black community.
Where?
Central Park
Central Park.
was a
Yeah.
black community.
That is true.
And they got leveled to make way for the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot was
they
taken
took
from
it
us.
What they called, when the city said they can take over a piece of land, eminent domain. So they what they did is they claimed eminent domain, they took that land and they built Central Park.
No, they didn't. They burned this town. They burned the whole thing. It wasn't no eminent domain. It wasn't that. They burned it all down. Because what they did was said that one black man raped three white women, and they came and burned it all down. And they just buried it underwater.
So you gotta be very careful about these lies that get told because it causes whole communities to be burned down.
It's a lot of it. There's a lot of spots. There's a lot of spots that's water, big massive waters. They say lakes. Those are black towns that's under that water.
Oh, you talking about like Lake Lanier in Atlanta?
Lake Lanier is one.
Lake Lanier
Lake Lanier is one.
in Atlanta.
But then you got
Okay.
Central Park too.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Park.
That was the first one I said, Central
Right.
Park.
I feel like my mind is blown right now. You know, there's
So in
things that you know, but the
California,
thing that you don't know.
The city of Huntington Beach had to pay black family, had to pay them millions of dollars because of the land that was stolen from the black family.
Yeah. I told
Huntington
my
Beach.
friend, I said, don't see if your mama got some money.
Yeah.
Like Wall Street. Wall Street.
Yeah.
Black Wall Street.
Yeah, Black Wall Street.
That was the first Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Wait, Oklahoma.
Wall Street came from a fortification.
The wall.
There was a wall
The wall.
in Lower Manhattan. And they built a wall to keep out the indigenous people that lived there first, the Lenape.
Black Wall.
So Black Wall Street came after
No.
the Wall Street in Manhattan.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Been right all night. That ain't right.
Not extension then. I'm gonna tell you how Wall Street got its name. Black Wall Street is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was built in the early 1900s.
I know where he was built.
Wall Street,
Google it.
Manhattan.
That's what they telling you. That's what they put in the history books. Okay?
The Wall Street of Manhattan got the name the same way that Canal Street got its name in Manhattan.
And how's that?
Because Manhattan was full of streams. And there was a canal there, and they covered it up with dirt in order to build, to reclaim the land. They call it land reclamation. And they filled in all the different streams in Manhattan and that canal. They call it Canal Street because they covered over with dirt. So they could build more
Water at
houses.
the beginning, then when you get to the end to the bridge.
Wow.
And a tunnel goes to the water.
And Wall Street was a walled enclosure to keep out the monopoly. Because the Dutch built Wall Street when it was New Netherlands. And the British took it from the Dutch in 1624. And they kicked the Dutch out. They said, we claim this for the King of England. But that's where the Wall and Wall Street came from. It was a military fortification. And you see it down in Battery Park where the cannon is.
Yeah.
And it's still a part of that wall down in Battery Park. Part of the wall still there.
It sure is. Wow. Getting the history, y'all, on New York City. We have some deep,
That's why
extensive
we have
history.
the orange and blue in New York colors. Because William of Orange was a Dutch monarch. That's where we get the orange from. William of Orange. Yeah. The blue I don't remember. But those colors come from when New York was New Netherlands. The orange and blue.
Wow.
That's where we get the name Knickerbocker from. That's a Dutch word for the pants that came up to the knees. The knee breeches was known as Knickerbocker. Breeches.
What's up, everybody that's tapped in? How y'all doing? Welcome to the live. It's ToniSteelz. I'm out here at BlewSmoke.
Charlie Dodgers.
Brooklyns Own BlewSmoke Cigar Lounge.
Yeah.
Woman owned, black woman
That
owned.
baseball team was formed before the Yankees.
Right in the heart of Brooklyn.
Try to take down Editsville.
If you ever come out to New York City and you ever come to visit
right.
Brooklyn and you are a cigar aficionado and you love to smoke cigars, then this is the place to come, build community, make new friendships, you know, learn things you never learned before, join the conversation, you know. So that's what we're doing here. We at BlewSmoke, yo.
When do you make your city tours, man?
Shouts to Gloria.
My city tours?
She owns this spot.
Serious?
But here's the thing.
That's a good one.
Every avocation doesn't become a vocation.
Well, hey, you know.
Right?
That's what it is.
Say that again. I like that. Say that again. Every
avocation doesn't
become a vocation. I like that.
True.
Yep.
But
Very much.
listen,
Knowledge is power, though, champ.
Hello, absolutely.
Knowledge is always power.
Always.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is supreme.
Hello.
Knowledge is power.
That takes me back to the 5%.
Yeah, right? Knowledge is supreme.
Clarence 613. 1964.
Hey.
Supreme is all being I got on here. Let me stop.
Oh, what's the difference between mathematics?
Here we go.
Don't start.
Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods.
Arm a leg, arm a head.
Salam alaikum, brothers.
Salaikum salam. We're going to toast. We're going to cheers to that right there.
were you a 5% too?
No. I told him I like pork too much. I couldn't do it. I said I'll be lying if I join, because then I'm still gonna be eating bacon, sausage. I can't do shit like that.
A lot of mothers
found-
still eating bacon and pork.
Yeah, but I can't do
I'm
it.
so glad when they came out with turkey bacon.
I can't do it. In
You know
live,
what?
You know.
It's still bacon.
But not the same.
It's still bacon.
It's a
But
form
they
of
asked
bacon,
me
but
to
it's
join.
not pork.
There was an earth. in
Whatever.
that lived-
Whatever you
lived
tell
on,
yourself, bacon is bacon.
There's an earth that lived on Duma and Strauss. And her name was Mecca. And I was dating her niece, Makita.
This is back in the day.
Yeah,
When Mecca put the name here.
yeah, Mecca.
Well, no. The fact that he said he was dating that, that's back in the day.
Yeah,
That was before my time. That's my hood right there. So that's why I'm like, all right, what's the street with Bessie Head?
Yeah, Strauss and Duma.
Yeah. The
And
park is
I
right there.
was dating Mecca's niece, Makita. And Makita lived in Queensbridge. And we over at Mecca's house, and Mecca is like, yo, brother, we need you to join the nation of the 5%. And I said, I can't, Mecca. I eat pork. I can't do that.
Did she start dating you after that?
No. He wasn't a 5%. Her aunt was. And she was married to a man named Justice.
You're not closing down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I had friends, I had friends.
Shout out to the nation.
My sister's husband was 5%. He was bigger than Shaka. He was bigger than he was a top dog and all that 5% thing.
He was a judge.
Yeah, and he converted everybody over. Either you did it or you didn't. You couldn't come in his house if you did, and all that. So I'm going to be my sister. All right, I'm gonna rock with this.
You know what? Mecca still welcomed me in her home, even though I didn't convert.
And I
welcomed me
still,
in her
because
home.
Mecca didn't really indulge.
Y'all supposed to be able to.
Had a family member that did, but yeah.
Nah,
Mecca was in
I was
it.
young.
She was married to Justice.
not only for.
I was young.
She was in it.
I was young when I did it.
That's where you know about it. You know.
That's why all these kids got names. LaQuasia, Renice, Shasha, and Say. That's their names.
Teresa.
Because, you know.
That's my name, but that's not my father's.
What's your 5%?
What's your 5%? Oh, what's your 5% name? Let me find out. Peace to the nation. Peace to the nation.
Right? Peace to the nation.
Chartrice.
Chartrice.
Satrice.
S-H-A. You trying to give it a spin off of Teresa. That's what you trying to do.
I mess with that. I mess with Chartrice.
I mess with her too.
I mess with that.
I mess with her too.
Okay, Shasha.
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's
Shasha.
what they used to call me around the house.
Mess with the great
Then I ended up getting a boyfriend. He was 5% too. So he was on me with knowing all the letting go. Every corner you walk, they be like, hey sister, what's the day mathematics? What's the da-da-da-da-da-da-da? I was like, the first couple of times, but then you know me, I'm a cocky though. I'm like, I'm gonna know when I get back. When he asks me again, I'm gonna know. Ask me again, I read it off. He was like,
Study your lessons.
that's it. Study your lessons. Some more powerful study
Get
your
out of high
lessons.
school.
Just like when they.
Get out of high school. Study your lessons.
You know what?
And so we used to chant that in the house parties till love is the message. So love is the
Wow.
message. And then we'll go study your lessons. And study your lessons. Because you know the part that love is the message goes.
Yeah. Wow.
Study your lessons. Get out of high school. Get out of high school.
I hear that.
Yo.
This is way before my time, y'all, but I'm listening.
I used to be standing on the top of the stairs watching all them in the basement. I'm peeking outside. I'm listening, I'm watching. Watching everything. And I was always the one to run get some ice, run to go in my mom's room, get the other bottle of liquor.
So your peoples was already in New York. You wasn't like first generation.
No, absolutely.
See, I couldn't identify percent because I was first generation New York. My people was from North Carolina and Georgia, so I couldn't. Now, had they born and raised in New
The whole
York,
Fuller
that might have
Street
been
was
different.
black owned when I was a little girl.
That might
All
have been
black
different.
owned. The whole Fuller Street was
See,
black
we
owned.
don't. Yeah, we didn't know anything about that. I'm first generation American.
In first
So,
generation,
yeah.
I'm first generation New York.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
like I said, my people migrated from the south.
I lived here
And
from
I
the
was
time I
first
was born,
generation.
right there on the corner of Gates and Walker. The house on the corner of 490, that was my mother's house, right there on that corner. Then when the house burnt, we went across the street to
When did your people
475.
come to New York?
My mother got dropped off when she was a young girl. They was from Alabama and Philly, so she got
Alabama and Philly. Usually people from Alabama go to Chicago and Detroit. Usually.
No, not the ones that want money.
What's up, y'all? What y'all doing? What's going on? Talk to me. What y'all up to? I'm here at the Cigar Lounge, Brooklyn Blue
And
Smoke,
Detroit is filled with Alabama people.
Brooklyns Own BlewSmoke Cigar
The
Room,
ones that
owned by Gloria, woman owned. We just in here chilling. I'm just soaking up the knowledge. I'm, getting a lot of, learning a lot of things that I didn't necessarily know. So it's really good to be here and just talking to people that, building community. Building community, enjoying myself, just having a good time. I was smoking a cigar. I let it out for a little bit. I'll get back to it in a few. But I just wanted to come in here, say what's up to everybody. It's been a while since I've been live, so I'm definitely trying to keep a schedule of going live weekly. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'll be going live right here on YouTube, 9 p.m. And we're going to chop it up, shoot the breeze, all that good stuff. There's so many things that I want to talk about and that I was going to talk about tonight, but got here and we just started talking and just started soaking up the knowledge that is being, thrown out here. They're having really intense conversations. I learned a lot about my city, which is New York City. Learning a lot about the boroughs. There's, of course, things that I've already known, but it's always good to hear more and learn a lot more. I enjoy it. It's always good to sit and talk with your elders so that you can learn. To just soak up the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very important. So that's what I'm doing. Sometimes you got to get away from the everyday noise, the everyday propaganda that's happening on the news, and really get to the bottom and really get to the truth of things, of life, of the people, and just learning who you are as a people, So, yeah, I'm just here, I'm chilling, y'all. I'm just enjoying myself, having a good time, and just relaxing on a nice Wednesday night.
I look for Spain, diaspora.
Having a little Uncle Nearest. That's what this is. I actually came here because I wanted some Sir Davis, which, I actually fell in love with when I first had it, but they don't have them here tonight. They offered some Uncle Nearest, which is okay. It's okay, but it's not the Sir Davis. It's not what I was looking for. But, still in all, I'm enjoying a nice little drink, a nice little cigar, some good company. And yeah, that's my Wednesday night tonight, What are y'all up to though? Got the vibes going, the music in the background,
Took on the accent.
We got two Tonis. I'm one Toni. The other gentleman that's talking, that's a Toni. We need one more Toni so that we can rock out. So we can rock out. But nonetheless, it feels good. Did y'all get the part? It feels good.
Nobody speaks right without an accent. Let's put it like that.
Trust me. the people in the South got a patois also.
Yeah, they
When you
do.
get around a group of people from the South, and they start talking, you
Yeah.
need to translate.
Yeah.
Alexander, he's still
You know, take on down there and go move out about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One out there, Alexander. One ain't studying you.
That's what all of it. So,
You see that, Tony? We need one more Tony. We could have been doing our
doing the song right here.
we could have been doing our thing.
Yeah. Now,
There was
Raphael
another Tony
Sadiq,
song
he got
before
some
that.
stuff now.
Oh yeah, I love Raphael Sadiq.
Fire.
I love
He
Raphael
got some
Sadiq.
stuff out there.
Yeah, he got a new song. What's the name of it? I just was listening to it like last month.
Yeah, I think he just dropped the album, right? He just dropped a new album, or is he dropping a new
I think it
album?
was single. I don't think the album dropped. I think it was a single.
I just watched the performance. I forgot on what, but I just watched the performance of his. But I mean, all
Tiny
his
Desk. That's
all-
what
Tony, you
Yes.
first generation New York, right?
first generation American.
First generation
Yeah.
American. Where the people from?
My family is of Garifuna descent,
From where?
which
Garifuna.
Garifuna,
Garifuna.
No,
Honduras.
Honduras.
Garifuna.
Yeah.
Honduras.
Well, originally, we are from St. Vincent,
St. Vincent.
but during the Spanish War, we were migrated over to Honduras.
All right.
Honduras, Belize, Nicaragua, and Guatemala.
All right.
But the Garifuna people is,
I know about the Garifuna.
yeah, the Garifuna people are the black people that are in these, in these countries, yeah.
You used to call yourself Carib at one point.
No, we always called ourselves Garifuna.
No.
Never. Never.
Carib was the name at one point. Then they changed the name to Carib.
I never heard Carib from people from Honduras.
Yeah, no, it's always been Garifuna.
I always heard that.
When they call themselves Carib, when they come to America,
Because that is our native language. Garifuna is our native language.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
they say they Caribbean.
When they came over,
That's what they
mainly as far as when the people, as far as used to talk to them, used to call them Carib. Then they started saying,
¿Qué pasa Contracho?
Catracho, yeah, that's Honduras. That's Honduras.
Right.
Yeah.
Honduras.
Yeah.
now, the story of the Garifuna coming to America was that the English, and who they had over there in St. Vincent, the French,
The French, yeah.
that they said, listen, we done fighting with y'all. All of y'all who want to leave, y'all can leave. We'll let y'all leave. But those you who
Because
stay,
we fought.
well,
yeah,
that's what
we
I'm
fought,
saying,
yeah.
Because they joined with the Indians. They,
Yeah.
I'm and
Amerindians, yeah.
then they because they went up into the mountains, and they used to come down and raid the same way they used to do in like Jamaica and stuff like that. But the Garifuna kept the culture
Yeah.
and the language
Yeah.
much. So when they left on the boat, and they came into the area of
Central America.
Honduras. That's where they landed. So the governor of Honduras at one point came out and said, listen, who you are?
Yeah.
He came and said, okay, these people come in peace, y'all can come y'all can stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they flourished from Honduras, Guatemala, all the way up to
Yeah.
They was going up all the way up to Mexico.
Because we were hidden in the villages before they even found. Yeah, before they even
right
found.
there on the coast.
Yeah.
Nobody went inland.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say they didn't went inland, but they were more coastal
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yeah.
But from
Belize
Honduras
is
all the way.
Garifuna also?
Some of them. Some of them. Yeah, some of
all
them.
from the same group.
But most of them live in Honduras.
And Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Yeah.
You got Guatemala.
Got Guatemala.
You got Guatemala. In Guatemala, you got Livingston and Puerto Vallarta.
And Puerto, yeah.
And then you go up to going up to Belize.
Yeah.
You got most of them is Dangriga
And then, yeah.
in
Then
Belize.
Rigo, yeah.
And then they were still going up, but whatever society or they kind of stayed here.
A lot of Belizeans didn't even claim Garifuna though.
Y'all pardon me, I'm gonna get another station.
right? Kaya is more inland.
But they was there too.
The thing is, the Garifuna on America has more tradition than the Garifuna there in St. Vincent. St. Vincent don't have nothing of the story of the knowledge.
Which is interesting that you say that because of as of last year, like a tribe of ours been going back to St. Vincent to teach them.
Now,
Yeah.
that's something because every 19th of November in Belize, I know, they always have that where they reenact
Yeah.
where they came from St. Vincent and they came to the land, to Americans. And they always, as far as I know, all Garifunas that are here in the United States, whenever they're able to, they go back to that, for that
Yeah.
19th of November,
Yeah.
for that reenactment.
Yeah.
I was there, I was able to be at that time
Oh wow.
in Belize, and they had a priest come from St. Vincent, and the priest got up and said, "You all have more of the tradition than we do in St. Vincent." I'm not Belizean, I'm not, none of that, but I love traveling,
Yeah.
and I was able. That's why I'm able to stand up and tell you that the priest said, "Y'all have more tradition
I can believe that. Because over in St.
here
Vincent,
in the
they
Americas,
try
at
to
least in
adapt to
Belize,
them.
than we
They
do
keep their culture
in
and
St.
stand
Vincent.
Yeah.
Because in St. Vincent, like you said, the English and the French, they say, if y'all want to stay, if y'all are going to stay, y'all cannot practice anything.
Yeah. Yeah. They was trying to wipe the
And
culture
they
away.
wiped it off.
Yeah.
So, and I agree, I believe you when you say that they go back to St. Vincent
To teach.
them, those who are there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I met a St. Vincent woman. And she said, I said, you Garifuna. And I started talking, she said, I don't know nothing about
About that. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised because I know the story.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what it is.
Aw.
So,
Appreciate
no.
I appreciate that.
No,
Yeah.
it's our story. It's like Buzz said, diaspora. We come from different parts and stuff like that. But, it's beautiful
Yeah.
when you're able to go somewhere and you're able to, mingle
To learn.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
people. So,
That's the
it's
unk right
something,
there.
it's something beautiful.
That's the
And
unk.
I remember
Yeah, that's the
being in Belize at the time of that reenactment. And the thing was, at that point, I came down with a cold. And they were playing drums, and I was there observing. And this one brother came to me, "You enjoying it?" I said, "Yeah, I am, but I'm sick."
Yeah.
He said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "I got a cold."
What he gave you? Giffity?
Huh?
What he gave you? Giffity?
What's that?
Giffity is like a liquor. It's a homegrown liquor.
Bitter.
Bitters. Yes.
He gave me
Yes.
some bitters. I
Yes.
drank that,
Knocked it out, right?
knocked it out. I went back. I said, "Wait, can I buy some more?"
We call it Giffity. It's something that ferments for a year. Yeah.
Great to meet you,
Same
man.
here, brother.
I drink my bitters every day. Angostura bitters. Every day I pour me a little Angostura bitters.
Okay.
That's it. Every
Yeah.
day.
No,
Gotta have
that's
some
cool.
business every
That's
day.
cool.
What's your name?
Reggie.
I'm Toni. Nice to meet
Homie?
you. Toni
Tony.
with an I.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard? Trees. Like, no. And I don't want to take over the conversation.
No, that's fine. Listen, have a seat, please. Yeah. I appreciate that. Not too many people know about our culture, so you talking about it is like
The Garifunas, is you go down there and there's time as far as you talking about patois, they don't talk patois, they talk their own language. As far as, because I've heard certain words that I've heard here in the United States from Indians that had this, I've heard, I don't know if it's had the same meaning, but I've heard the word. And I was like, oh. And I heard this word before. and you know, to show that where the linkage is, right? And that was something that, you know, I'm a traveler. I love traveling, you know, and I keep, you know, because at one point I was going to Belize all the time, right? And I was able to get into that, get a little bit of that knowledge, where as far as the Belizean and dealing with the Garifuna and stuff like that. And that's why I said, you know, at one point they used to call themselves Carib.
Yeah.
You know, then they changed.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and that because they establishing themselves as something. Carib, I don't know as far as, because if I call you as a Garifuna Carib, that would be a derogatory term. And I don't know if what it, as far as what it was meant to, as far as saying. Something that I kind of feel it was like crab, right? But I'm not gonna say that's what it was, but I know at one point it was Carib, and then, you know, they established themselves as Garifunas. You know what I mean? I had a little encounter with two Garifuna women. I was in Guatemala, in Livingston. I speak Spanish, right? So in Livingston, I was able to talk to two Garifuna women. One speak English and one speak Spanish. But they were able to communicate with themselves through the Garifuna language.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to both of them, not trying to pick them up or nothing like that, but, you know, talking. And I was like, what did I put myself into? But one speaks English, one speaks Spanish. And I was able to translate. I would tell them what I was saying, both in Spanish and English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was something that right now, to me, I feel is something so beautiful that where I'm able to communicate with people, you know, that I went down there and I was just passing through.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the, I was traveling through the ruins of the Mayas. And it just happened to be from, you know, the leaves that stopped in Punta Gorda and then went over to Livingston. And then from there I started talking and stuff like that. And one girl saw me in Belize, and she just happened to go over to Guatemala for a holiday. And there they were, and you know, we were just talking, you know what I mean? So with that, you know, we started talking. Then one of them, the other one that was from Guatemala, she saw me when I went to the church in Esquipulas. Esquipulas have a church that has the Black Christ. The Black Christ, there's 3 of them that exist that I know of. One in Guatemala, Esquipulas, one in Panama, in Colón, or Portobello, and the other one is in Peru.
Wow. Yep.
Right? And the thing is, the veneration for this Black Christ is like nothing else. You got people, you know, venerating on this Christ, you know, and it's like summertime, you say, like, you know, it's like, you know, this, you know, people see or look at an image of Christ, you know, and it's like, it's white. Nah, but these people got the Black Christ. And they go constantly, whenever there's celebration, and they all give the offerings.
Yep.
They even give gold chains, they give gold, they give money.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Everything, yeah.
Whatever it is that comes into their mind,
Yeah.
the
That's
offer,
what they give to them.
Yeah.
that's what they offer this saint. Right? And that's something that, you know, I mean, and it's within all 3 locations. My story, I don't know how the one in Peru and Esquipulas got there. But there's a story, the one in Portobello in Panama, saying that, you know, they came in on a boat, and when it was time to leave, the boat always had problems because of this load of this Christ. So they decided, you know what, let's throw it over. Let's leave it here. And that's when the boat was able to leave, and that's where that saint left and stayed
Was left, yeah.
in that country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but that was just my part of traveling, going through, you know, Central America, from Mexico all the way down, you know, Panama and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, sorry, bro.
That's right.
So, the Garifuna story, that's where I encountered that. I don't know if it was just by chance or nothing, but it was meant for me to know that.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely, because you was here to teach me.
But it is something that, you know,
That's right.
every 19th of November, there's a celebration.
Yeah,
And you feel that, you know, because, you know, at one point, I got there early, that first time, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, and I just stayed for the hotel. And the hotel was right next to the beach in Dangriga. Dangriga I'm talking about. And everybody came to Dangriga.
yeah,
And Dangriga was a celebration of it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Playing the drums and stuff like that. And
the congas.
it's from my travels, you always find where the drum playing is a form of communication. with
Yep,
us.
yep,
You might call it ritual or
Yep.
whatever it is, dancing, whatever it is. But it's a form of communication. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, you know, that is something that is where we are enriched.
That's
Now
where we get our
that,
soul from.
yeah,
what you said?
That's where we get our soul from.
You know what I mean? So, you know, that is something that is so beautiful. That where you're able to enrich yourself, you know, especially you yourself knowing coming from Brooklyns, you know, and things like that, you know, that is something that is beautiful. Many times I say I gotta go back, you know what I mean? But I'm not, because I'm going other places.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and there's many times. I took my daughter when she graduated from high school. I took her to that section, Belize and Guatemala and Mexico. Up to now, she can't forget that. She said, I want to do that again.
yeah,
But that
an
was my gift to
experience.
her when
Yeah.
she graduated. You know what I mean? And it was something that where you want to give to people, your children, people coming behind you, in order for them to elevate themselves.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's something that, you know, I hope you continue to sports and developing the sports from that Garifuna.
Absolutely.
Because, you know,
Absolutely,
because a lot of people don't know about Garifuna.
That's right.
What is Garifuna?
that's right.
You know what I mean? So when
Yeah.
you say Garifuna, I was like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
I've been there. I know a little bit
That
about
makes
it.
me feel good too, because like I said, not too many people know about it. So when somebody, you know, has some knowledge on this,
Right.
I love that,
Yeah.
you know?
And the thing that struck me the most was when that priest, because I was there for one celebration, and that's when the priest got up and said, I gotta, you know, he didn't say shame or nothing like that. He said, you know, I gotta be taking it back. I'm using a word that, you know, but in what he was saying that here in the Americas, from what I'm seeing, y'all have more knowledge than we have in St. Vincent. And that's what he spoke. That's what his word was. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, continue what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yo. And
And
like
where
I
you
said,
from?
that was every year. That's a reenactment that they do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You see them coming in with the canoe.
Yeah.
You know, with
Yeah.
the fruits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, coming into the land and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, you know.
Yeah, they do it in Honduras as well. They do it in Guatemala as well.
No, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I was there in Belize, in Dangriga, when I saw that.
Yeah.
You know, and I was glad to be there to see that, you know, that reenactment.
Oh, that's awesome. And where are you from?
Me? I'm from Panama.
Okay.
You know, born in Panama, raised over here. You know what I mean?
Question. Your ancestors, before they hit Panama, did they come from Jamaica first? Then
Yeah, you can
came
do
to
it.
Panama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Garifunas is from Jamaica as well. I think a lot of, you know, a lot of us
Migrate to
migrate. Yeah. Yeah.
They took y'all there, they took them there, they took them
No. But my people, as far as came from Jamaica to Panama for the
yeah.
construction of the canal.
Oh.
You know.
My great grandfather worked in the Panama.
Okay. You know, and
Early 1900s.
Yeah,
My great grandfather was born in 1886. And he went to Canal in the early 1900s.
Right. So,
Then when he left, he went to Detroit.
okay.
Detroit.
Because my grandfather, or one of my grandfathers, my
Knowledge of self, y'all. Knowledge
grandfather
of
from the
self.
mother's side, he died.
To everybody who's in
I
the
was a
room,
young
I
kid then.
appreciate
I was
y'all
probably
tapping in
about
with
3
me.
years old.
You already
Things like
know
that.
it's ToniSteelz.
And
I'm here Wednesdays
my
and
grandfather
Thursdays
from
at
the
9
side,
p.m. Right now I'm
he
at
came up to the
BlewSmoke
States.
in
He
Brooklyn
told me he came up to the
at the
States by
cigar
Mexico.
room, just,
And
you know, chopping it up and
then he came to the States.
soaking up all the
He
knowledge,
was also
culture,
there.
and
He was also
connecting.
there, like in
Yeah, I'm enjoying the
maybe Chicago and
conversation.
stuff like that until he came to New York.
So, yeah.
Things like that.
Shout to
Settled
y'all.
in New
Thank you
York.
for tapping in. I
And I'm
appreciate
in
it.
Harlem.
I'm about to sign
We used
off
to
so I can
stay in,
engage more into the conversation. And I'll
like
holler
a
at
border
y'all.
house or something like that, where they had just
Be good
rooms.
to you.
And he, you know,
That was a lot. That was big in